Love our shoots and want your images for your portfolio, but you cannot travel to all of them? Read below. Star emoji. That is important, but we'll get to that later. We are getting ready to roll out a new style shoot experience, and I would love your feedback. After many requests for associate shooters to shoot at our editorials for our photographers, we have decided to create our own associate shooter program. Okay, I see what y'all doing here. I like it so far. This is so exciting because it now allow us to get raw images from an editorial of ours to edit it and use as you please. Hold on. Y'all went from associate shooter program to now. Okay, let me reread this. We have decided to create our own associate shooter program. This is so exciting because it will now allow you to get raw photos from an editorial of ours to edit and use as you please without the added expense of travel and lodging. We are still working out the exact logistics, parentheses, and this is where I would love your input, but here's what I can tell you so far. So they talk about we'll be hiring a photographer. These type of shoots will be separate from the standard associates program that we already have, even though this is not an associate program, but whatever. The best part about this is we can go over the top and the best image and get the best images since my team will be the only ones physically present. We will move florals around each other to make every scene grand. We can shoot in the absolute best lighting or even in a day if you want where the weather is bad. We have so much flexibility. We'll be able to shoot at some incredible venues and out of these world locations to die over, to have in your portfolio, and we will shoot like we'll be able to shoot at it. The masses. Her sentence don't make sense. Parentheses, like international locations. I've read enough. This is so immoral. This makes no sense. Actually, it makes perfect sense because I'm here to say, I don't know. And maybe, especially with DJ Envy and what he's going through, this industry of photography has become, fraud has been so acceptable in our community. It is officially disgusting. Think about this. We are in a space where a company, and let's read, what is the name of this brand? Because that's important to know. Style Shoots Across America. Shout out to Heather for sending this. Well, shout out to Heather for posting this because I think it's important for us to realize what's real, what's fake, and what is bullshit. Excuse my language. I hope that's not too early in the YouTube to, I ain't monetized anyway. We are in a world where you cannot even be a photographer, but you can create your own wedding portfolio because these people would take the pictures, shoot it. So if you want to, you could play around with Lightroom Mobile on your phone, post these on your Instagram, on your website, claim them as your own. And this company thinks that is acceptable. The wedding industry needs a hard reset because it is absolutely disgusting what the hell is going on. Like fraud is now acceptable in photography. And, at first we could let a couple of things slide, right? Because in the past, the way this was getting done was, hey, I'm a photographer. I'm shooting something. And you know what? I don't have the time to edit. So now I go on Fiverr. I find somebody that can edit photos for $5, for $8, for $10, whatever. Cool. Then photographers who are less qualified, and let me let all the photographers know that are listening. It is a ton of photographers who are doing what I'm saying, who cannot edit to save their lives. It is a lot of models who are now photographers who don't care to edit, but they know they can go on Fiverr and do that because they took the shortcut and say, wait a second. And then it has become acceptable because maybe you're a great shooter, but you're not a great retoucher. But now the schemers, however you want to look at it, has said, well, I ain't either. Got the new camera. I already know a bunch of people that's connectors. One of my favorite people on the internet, and I won't say her name because she is one of my favorite people, tried to hire me when we was in college, and she wanted me to be a second shooter for her. At that time, it was like, hey, can you assist me? But second shooters wasn't prevalent like that. Mind you, I've been shooting since 2007. And I remember her whole brag was the whole flex of her, and it still is to this day, which works for her. She said, I built my first website for a client and I never built a website a day in my life, which is true. I watched this woman do this. She used to deliver photo shoots to clients. She ain't never shot before. She would borrow somebody's camera, Bring them along, say, hey, fix my settings, blah, 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 shoot something, take your pictures, go get them retouched or have you to retouch them. She would deliver it to the client as though she was a photographer. It is amazing. And now we live in a world where this can happen. I believe we need a hard reset, and I do hope it happens soon. And when I talk about a reset, like, first of all, clients got to start doing their own research. A lot of clients are getting scammed or they're getting played. Let me not even say scam. They're getting played because they don't research. They don't look up. They don't Google. They don't sit with the person in their face. There's photographers right now. I know a photographer, man. Shout out to him. Not really. I don't talk to bruh no more. But bruh, you know, he was scamming his wedding clients, promising them other services outside of photography, which he didn't do. Yo, your photographer should not be your caterer. He should not be your DJ. I'm telling y'all, people are getting over. But also clients are not doing research. So that is disgusting. Who is texting me in the middle of a podcast? Golly, man. Anyway. And I've said this before and I will say this again. I will be doing a whole video on how photographers get over on wedding clients. And I'm going to start with the whole second shooter thing. Second shooters need a hard reset. Clients should have the ability to request to see the second shooter's portfolio, and we should have the right to tell them no. But I think that starts a new dialogue. And I also believe it's going to start us off on raising second shooter prices, because for some reason, y'all are still going out there doing second shooter work for free, and y'all are going out there and accepting $30, $40. But then also, I'm not even mad at it because I can pay somebody $40 a second shoot for me if somebody's there to accept it. And there's always people who are willing to undercut everybody else for the ability to look busy. And that shit is disgusting. Anyway, I want to welcome everybody to the Paid Exposure Podcast. I'm your host, Gavin, aka Coke. To my first and last time listeners, welcome. I have been doing this podcast for years. Before the pandemic, I don't know, 150 episodes ago. And as of recently, I have started this thing where I do little conversations and I sit and talk to y'all about what's going on in my mind, what's going around this company, what's going around in the photography industry. And I'm here, man. We do got an intro. I ain't even playing that. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. This is my 5th time doing this video. I did it last week, but I had too much work to go on. I had 2 weddings this weekend. I had some mini sessions this weekend. As you can see, I'm sunburnt. Hopefully my video editing skills, which I do not have. I am not the photographer that offers videography, because I don't do that. It was so funny. I was at this wedding this weekend and a videographer, he had been doing video for 30 years and he asked me, do I do video? And I'm like, hell nah. I'm like, that's not my specialty. I don't care about it. I think we need to get back into this. If you're not passionate about something, don't start it. Too many of us are taking on side gigs or taking on different businesses or different adventures for money. If you in this shit for money, please leave immediately or just put it at the top of your website. I'm not passionate about this. I only want the money. And for me, I'm not passionate about video. It's a lot of money. I could BS and make a wedding video. I know that for a fact, but I do not want to. I don't care to. Half of y'all don't even storyboard, but I'm not. This is not a videographer podcast. This is a creator podcast, and I hate that word, but y'all see why later. This is episode 150 something. I do not know, but I do want to welcome you. And I know why you here, because I already seen the title. I created the title already. And I do want to welcome you in. And we're going to get there. But first, I want to get to Rich Paul's comments. If you do not know, Rich Paul is a man who, let me put it like this. When LeBron James was 15 or 16, LeBron James, the NBA player, second best player in the NBA of all time. LeBron James was walking through the airport and there was a guy there he saw who had a throwback jersey on, and LeBron James went up to him and was like, yo, where you get the jersey from? This man who was, this young man who was out of high school, told LeBron, I got you. Asked LeBron James for his number. They exchanged information. And now Rich Paul is LeBron James' agent. Now Rich Paul is an agent over several NBA players. Now that story goes longer because come to find out they went to the same high school. But that story is longer. It does not matter. It does matter to the point of it does matter to the point of, yo, this is why you just don't curve anybody. How many of us, if we were 18 and 19 and we see a 15-year-old come up to us and say, yo, where you get the jersey from? We just thumbing our nose up and whatever, right? I think that is important. But anyway, Rich Paul was actually on First Take, and he had this conversation with the guys about how he, when he became LeBron James' agent, when LeBron James is 18, going to the NBA, nobody wanted to help him, especially the people that look like him. And his quote is, no black agents came up to me and said, let me help you. Let me show you. Let me help you understand. What they did was they went into families and talked bad about me. Oh, he's just a kid. He's just LeBron James' friends. I didn't expect that. In a follow-up, somebody said he had no degree. He had no prior experience. Not even being funny. Why would any fellow black agents give him game? He didn't even meet the basic requirements of the profession. He is blessed LeBron James took interest in him. Leave it at that. Now, I believe a woman said that, and I state that because as a man, that's hard to see from your own people to say, yo, you better. And the line to get me, not the first part, because that's absolutely correct, but he blessed that LeBron James took an interest in him. That lets me know that somebody's quoting who's not familiar with the story, hence why I told y'all earlier. He was approachable by LeBron. LeBron approached him. They are cool now. But yeah, anyway. And then it was funny because somebody did follow up. A black man actually followed up and said, I love tweets like this because it's a reminder that as a black man, you are on your own and shouldn't expect help or guidance from anyone, least of all people who look like you. Nobody passionately gatekeeps success like black folks to other black men. Now, we are not going to have a race talk. We are not about to have a gender war between black men and women. This podcast, even though it's catered to black and brown, if you want that take, please go to the Black Dads podcast and look for the timestamp. It is the last episode 113, where we talk about this in depth from the view of a black man. Now, I am here to tell you, if you want help from anybody, please know what you need help on. Now, going to that sister's first part of the conversation of, hey, this person had no education, they had no profession. The hardest thing of when people approach you as a photographer, or when you approach somebody as a photographer and you want help or assistance, the worst thing you can say is, hey, I just want you to help me. It's so general that I have to ask myself, do I have time and do I give a damn? Most likely it's either no to one or both of those questions. Most likely it's no to both, right? Because me now, I'm looking at myself. I'm married. I have a kid. I have a podcast. I have 2 podcasts. I'm a full-time photographer. So when somebody approached me and say, hey, Gavin, I would love, to shadow you. I would love, for you to mentor me. My first thing is like, what do you really need help with? And when I hear, I don't know, then it's like, well, do you need help with marketing? Do you need help with your finances? Do you need help with your taxes? Do you need help with your website? Do you need help with understanding your camera? Do you even know what your camera works? Do you know how shutter speed, ISO, and aperture works together? Do you even have a mirror in your camera? It's all those questions that if you can't answer it, then I have to look at you and say, I don't have the time. Look, this industry, especially in Charlotte, if you're in the Charlotte area, this industry is gatekeeped. So it's gatekeepers everywhere, right? And it's disgusting. The hardest part about being in Charlotte is we like to elevate a lot of people that are not from here. And then we try to, push that narrative that, oh, this is home. I'm not hating on anybody. I just think it's weird, right? So even in Charlotte, the people that's over the money, start looking at this grant money, start looking at who's getting the money, and start looking at how those people are giving back. Start looking at, I would love for you, if you're in your city, I encourage you to look at grant money that goes out to people, especially teams. So think about a company and it's 3 team members on that team. Start looking at all the grant money and start looking at the actual names and start seeing that a lot of the same teams are winning. They're just winning under different names or different LLCs. But yes, so my encouragement is if you are looking for a mentor, know what you want, be able to directly tell them exactly what you want, and then try to give them a timeline. So it's like, hey, I actually need help with just understanding how aperture work. I would love to do it because I have a shoot in the next week. Oh, word, bring your camera by tomorrow. Boom, we done. Well, I was wondering how you edit because I didn't understand masking. And it's crazy because I'm working on this wedding that I have to turn in a few weeks. Okay, cool. Things start working that way. So keep that in mind. Just before we get into what we're getting into, for shits and giggles, please go look up DJ Envy on Twitter. And the reason why I'm saying this is because it is wild how everything is going down. All right, if you hear it, then we already know what's up. All right, we're going to do this the right way. We're going to make it quick, clean, and easy. Because I have shared my link before, because I have told people about it, because I have sent this out in emails, Facebook groups, text messages, other YouTube videos, and encourage people to sign up for Shoott, and that's with 2 T's. I am here to inform all of those individuals or people that are going to sign up. I can no longer recommend this company to any experienced photographer. I'm going to get that out the way just in case you're ready to click off this video now. Please stay the fuck away from this company. I don't know how to say it any more plainly than that. Enjoy yourself. Good night. For those who want to stick around, let's get into, to me, this is my personal opinion, I think Shoott is the most transparent, non-transparent company working with photographers today. There is no other brand. There's no place. Let me get the headphones for this shit because I got to hear what I'm saying. I got to make sure y'all can hear this right. There is no place you can go work unless it's a commission job, which this is, where the pay is so inconsistent and shocking. So here's the thing. Shoott promised you a 51% split. 51 your way, 49 their way. Which sounds like a cool deal because you don't have to find leads. It's very, very light editing. It is a quick turnaround if you know what you're doing. And you don't have to find the clients. So that sounds like a great deal, right? Until your paycheck arrives in your email. So here's a client I've over-delivered like Shoott encourages. I send the photos out in a timely manner, which in most businesses that works because clients who get their stuff early are kind of shocked and they maybe make shock or emotional purchase, which tend to be higher, right? So everything is cool. I know, let's not even do the high end where they promise you get $350. Let's say that they purchase 10 photos. It's $150. So you in your mind say, I'm going to make somewhere between $75, because I ain't that good at math, to $77. It's probably $77. So you excited. And then you think in your mind, if I can get everybody to purchase 10 of these, you telling me over 5 hours, I can make $750. Sounds easy enough. Hopefully in there's a sprinkle of full album purchases. I am here to tell you that will rarely freaking happen. Why? Because you're going to get your paycheck sometimes and you're going to see a word that says promo. Yes, that means the lead that you've been working on signed up a promo, and guess what ended up happening on your payout? They agreed with Shoott that they only wanted to pay $80 for a session. So you, in turn, get 51% of the $80. Now, imagine 10 hours of that. Your $750 check 5 hours of that, which would be 10 sessions. Your $750 check could be $400, but fortunately for you, Shoott has a policy that, hey, we're gonna just pay you $50 a session. So for 5 hours, you times that about 10, you made $500. So you lost $250. But it can get better. Right? Because the quality, not only is your payout weird, your quality of leads, now you can see how your quality of leads just go down because you can get somebody that paid 100, you can get somebody that paid 80. I've had both. And so you're kind of just like, yo, I'm in no man's land of like, what the hell is happening? But then you had a couple of people that didn't show up. Well, no worries, because Shoott actually gets paid $75 for every person that doesn't show up, right? So that's a bargain. At least you know, all right, I'm getting $75. Well, then there's such thing as fees for Shoott. Imagine this. A client works for Shoott, a client books Shoott, and they don't show up. Shoott automatically charges their credit card $75, right? Shoott tells you, hey, for the client that did show up, it costs us $20 to get them there. You don't know if that's true or not, by the way. All these promos, all these fees, they're just telling you that. Because I'm here to tell everybody, and all of us are educated to know that when you do leads, they do digital marketing campaigns, right? You can see how much a lead costs. So the lead that costs them $1, they're going to charge you $20 for it. But you don't have a say-so in that. You kind of almost got to accept it. And I'm here to tell y'all that no company is out there spending $20 on a lead. That shit just sounds bad. That's just bad marketing in general. A lead should not be costing you $20. But we got to accept that. And honestly, in reality, if a company is telling you, yo, you can buy a full gallery, it's going to be $350 or $400, whatever the case may be. We only going to take $20 out of that, and then we're going to bust it down 50-50. You're still going to take it because you're like, oh, that works, right? Wrong. Because why it costs them $20 for a client that does show, they tell you it costs them $55 for the client that does not show. I've never in my world have ever seen or heard anything like that. The marketing fee costs us $50 when a client does not show. But in their reality, hey, we are not profitable. This is what they tell you. I would read out the email that they sent a couple of photographers because I thought, and I'm going to be fully transparent. I emailed Shoott this week because we had issues, and I was like, this doesn't make sense because I've been doing this for a while. So, and I remember what Shoott was before they made the new changes, right? I remember when the owner would be on calls with you. I remember when the owner would host meetings. I remember when it appeared, and I'm not saying this is true because I don't know this woman, so I cannot speak from it. I remember when Shoott was promising, hey, we're a minority-owned business. We're all women. And I remember when I got relaunched back on the program, and I've only spoken to men. Let me just put it like that. I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know if we got some new investors. But the thing is that I've been told from them, which I've been told from other people is, hey, we're not profitable. We get a lot of chargebacks. So we got to take more money from you when they don't show so that we can float it around the company. So we're sorry that you waited out there for 30 minutes for them not to show up. But look, we can only give you 25% of the money. Not even 20% of the fucking money that they, since they didn't show. Or it's 30. They give you less than 30, so 28%. I'm going to be fair because I don't want nobody to hit me up and be like, oh, you're being unfair. They're going to give you 28% of the money because you sat out there the whole time. Meaning, let's say you had your sister to come out there. You had some BS. Matter of fact, that's fraud. We're not going to do that. We just talked about fraud in the community. But let's just say they came out there for 2 minutes and you took pictures for 2 minutes, right? Because after 20 minutes, you have every right to leave the session. I don't know if clients know that. Or 25 minutes. It's something crazy that you can technically say, yo, we ain't got enough time, I'm dipping. But let's say they came out there for 5 minutes and you took 10 pictures and you said, yo, that's all I have time for. I'm going to have to let y'all go. You would actually make more on that session than if they did not show up for 5 minutes. That is disgusting. My father had a favorite saying back in the day. He used to always say, you can have a favorite kid if the other kids do not know you have a favorite kid. And Shoott has made they've made it their unique business, and they do a great job of it. Or they did do a great job of not letting photographers know they was their least favorite person in the whole equation, right? And I'm not mad because this is a big thing about corporations anyway, right? The beneficiary is always the client, so to speak, or you got to make sure the client feels like they're the favorite child. Shoott does a great job of that. Hey, here's a free session. It's no hassle. You show up. Matter of fact, if you have any issues, the next time you book with us, you just have to guarantee to spend at least $100. Guess what? Promo. And then what they do is they let that person know you're the favorite person. You can buy your full gallery. They encourage you as a photographer to over deliver so that you can, they can sell more. Then they make sure that their pockets are right before. So they get to tell you, hey, this is a promo session, because the transparent thing to say is, hey, I'm indicating to you right now before you get here, this is a promo session. Guess what would happen if photographers knew it was a promo session? They wouldn't overshoot. They wouldn't over deliver. They would actually just deliver what's required, because they know in their mind, I'm not going to make the much. But for Shoott, it works out, because now they get to still hope and wish. And you get to still just tell, you know what? I hate to say it, but nothing about that doesn't sound fishy. I cannot trust a company to not say, hey, they just making up promo deals, right? And then at least the person who comes in at least in last place is always the photographers, right? But Shoott has done a great job to let people know. And let me put it like this. Shoott has done an amazing job with the quality of photographers they put on a platform. Now, mind you, I've never used them as a client, but their onboarding process is extensive. You got to have certain equipment, right? Hell, I remember one time they found out I had a studio. So we spoke about like, yo, is there a pay increase because I own a studio? They told me, no, you get paid the same. They said, when can we start signing people up? I said, for what? Why would I do? I told bruh on the phone, I said, why would I ever do that? Why would I invite you to my studio where I pay electricity, water? This is a premium. Why would I invite people in, shoot all of this, edit it up, which ain't easy to do, send it to you just for y'all to pay me the same $50. By the way, if you ever work for Shoott, do not plan, unless somebody does not show up, never plan to make over $50. That should let you know if you should work for them. If that is cool with you, please do it. It's not all bad. It's definitely not bad for clients. For photographers, it can work. Whether you need new equipment, this should not be a full-time job for nobody. At least not in the Southeast. At least not in Charlotte, North Carolina. They ain't even been here to check out locations. Hell, one time I had to call them in Charlotte to let them know that, yo, it's a huge home displaced population out here. It's homelessness. It's people on drugs. Y'all literally have us bringing clients to people begging them for money. You know what they said? It's fine. But hey, this is what it is. I'm just saying I can no longer encourage people unless you are a photographer who needs quick, easy money. And then at that, you don't know what you're getting. But for some people, it's going to work. Or if you need a portfolio just to show that you do this. Now, the reason why I tell people that are experienced not to do this, because if you put in an hour worth of time, you can actually create mini sessions and you can make at least $100 an hour. $100, a shoot. So if you do it, and I have a video on how to successfully craft a mini session, 5 hours, you can make you know what I'm saying? You can make you $1,000 versus with them for 5 hours, you may make $500. You might make anything between $250 to $750, maybe, but you know how that goes. Anyway, that's all I got for today, man. I hope y'all liked it. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please let me know your experience with Shoott. If you're a photographer, if you're a client, I know that shit worked for you. It's beautiful. And thank you for flooding. Matter of fact, if you don't believe what I'm saying about Shoott, search Facebook for photographers and go on Reddit. Type in their name. Go read the comments. You will be flabbergasted from the horror stories. And with that, I'm going to holler at y'all next time.
Welcome to the Paid in Exposure Podcast.
Let's get it.
A podcast about helping our community